All right. Hey Peaches, what is up? Wow, it's been a day and not a good one. I wanted to film this video for you guys and I'm gonna film it a little differently than I had originally planned on. So this morning at around 7 something, which apparently my body won't let me sleep past 7 now. I've officially hit that stage of my life, so cool. But I woke up at 7, I was totally ready for the day. I had this whole to-do list, I was gonna like get up, get on, and get going. And I don't know what went wrong and where it went wrong. I just could not pick myself back up. I actually filmed the makeup that I'm wearing right now, so hopefully that video turned out fine. But I had 3 videos to film today. This is my 3rd video. My 2nd video I did film, but it won't be up ever in its lifetime because it just did not turn out how I wanted. And sometimes that happens and that's okay. But that's not what was the issue. And so I'm gonna start kind of awkwardly. This video is my 2019 goals and resolutions and also my 2018 reflection, accomplishment, just kind of look back. Part of my reflections of 2018, I didn't intend starting there, but we're gonna start there. I kind of have realized how important mental health is this year, and I know there's like probably half of the people watching this video going like, yay, mental health! And then there's another half of this audience right now that is like, oh, another mental health video. I can relate to both those kind of. What I am going to tell you guys about it is I have kind of realized that a few of my family members that had the potential to, what's the wording of this? Pass that down to me? Pass what down? What am I talking about? A couple of my family members that have had the ability to pass down to me being a bunch of things in the mental arena, like depressed or anxious, like clinical anxiety, or all of these other things, right? I've learned more about them this year, and so it's made me a little bit scared, I think, to think that maybe I have something like that, or that I'm gonna find out about it later. And one of my biggest life fears is to be pregnant or to have kids during, I mean, I'll have to be pregnant to have kids. What I'm saying is during one of those times, while I'm pregnant, or if it's after when I already have the kids, finding out that I am crazy. Like, and I mean crazy kind of not how I should say. Okay, this is going downhill. I guess I had a very interesting experience growing up, and it has definitely impacted me and stayed with me. Is impacted a word? And I always am afraid that once I have kids, I'm gonna be over the top. You know, like today I was ready to throw my hot rollers because my hair didn't turn out good. Now, I don't always act that way, and in fact, I rarely act that way, which is why when I have a day where nothing is going right for me, even if it is going right, like if it's not that big of a deal, and I am over it, it's scary to me. Looking back, and a resolution is, while last year, this past year, I learned more about my family's kind of history with that. Looking forward, I would like to, I think, probably start some counseling, and that's not even on my paper of things to talk about, but I just thought about it because there was a large chunk of my day where I just had to sit and cry for a while, and I don't like that. So if we want to call that my intro, let's get into it. So I'm gonna start with, I guess, 2018 reflections and accomplishments, and I only have a couple of these, but they're big things. Number 1, I got married. That's a pretty big thing. And every single day that goes by, I'm just like kind of blown away that I am married, and that I got to marry Dustin, because like today, I'm laying on bed in silence, crying for no reason. And what does he do? He just goes and gets a little tissue, folds it up, and he's just dotting my little tears as they roll off my face, not even talking, just dotting tears. And I'm like, how did I get this? What did I do to deserve this? Nothing. This is unreal. This is a dream. Which, going along with that, my second point, I got a house this year. And while I wake up and am amazed at my husband, I am also amazed at our house, our backyard, our creek, the scenery here, the fact that I feel so comfortable and have never been afraid in this house. Number 3, these are all like I got or I did. But I got my puppy, and I did not know I could love a dog the way I love Suki. We were playing Pokemon Let's Go, that's what it's called, for the Switch. And I had the controller and I was trying to catch something and I got frustrated, and so I, like, in a playful way, like kicked my feet like, oh man. And Suki was so upset by that and came over and literally, paw here, laid on top of me like, I got this, Mom. And me and Dustin were just talking about how much she loves me and is literally like my therapy dog. So this is a weird like reflection and accomplishment, but becoming a wife. And now I know you guys are gonna be like, yeah, you just said you got married, but I don't mean get married. I mean actually like taking on the role of becoming a wife, because those are two different things. You can be married and not put any effort in to it. Now, is that gonna be a good marriage, or is it gonna last? Probably not. But you can just be in it and be like, I'm doing my thing. I don't know why you would want to do that, but you know what I'm saying. So there were a couple of months that I was overwhelmed, and to be completely honest and transparent with you guys, I was frustrated and did not understand what my role was, what things I should be doing, what should Dustin be doing, should we be doing things together, should we take turns, like just figuring out how to live with another person, especially if you're like me. I've never lived with anyone except for my parents. And so living with another person that, you know, you both have an equal role, I feel like, in taking care of one another in different ways. And so figuring that out sometimes is frustrating. And so for me, that's something that was an accomplishment, and it's a goal for next year. I'll go ahead and spoil that for you guys. I got this book and I forgot to bring it in here, but it's by Donna Partow, I think, Partow. And it's, title is something like Becoming a the title is something like Becoming a Proverbs 31 Wife in like 90 days, something. Anyways, I was thinking I would get it and it would be like this little devotional thing. It's like this big, literally so comprehensive. And I'm like, yes, I was so excited when I got it in the mail yesterday that I was like getting all my stuff together, ready to start. And the first like line of it is like, it's better if you start on a Monday so that the program can work correctly. And I was like, oh man, I gotta wait 2 days for this. So anyways, becoming a wife, accepting the role, taking on the responsibility. And I think that when you get to the maturity level, not to sound like about myself, but you kind of just have to get over yourself. And that's part of not only being a wife, but being an adult, and realize life ain't all about you. And when you get there, you're so much more prepared for things that are coming in the future, but also you can kind of more easily take things like with a grain of salt. Like, you think bad about me? All right, well, I'm gonna go get pizza with my husband now. Like, things just don't matter the same way once you know your worth. So I have 2 more reflections / accomplishments, and this one was a weird one to write, and it's gonna be even weirder to explain. But this, I just wrote down that relationships change. And it's not like this whole time I didn't know that or think about it, but really I kind of didn't think about it. Since I've gotten married, there are a couple of family members who just don't have anything to do with me anymore. And it's not because of Dustin, like that they didn't want me to marry him, and now that we're married, I've done something bad. They just don't have time for me anymore, I guess. And that is hurtful. And I have taken several months out of this year to try to figure that out. And why would that be a thing? And I just don't get it. And I'm finally at a point now that it's the end of the year and I'm about to start a whole new brand new year, where I'm just kind of like, I always get a little mixed up because I feel like I can't say something about like, you don't put in the energy when I'm not putting in the energy also. But also, if you do put in energy and someone doesn't give it back, don't keep wasting your time on that, because some people just don't want anything to do with you, and sometimes that's not your fault. My last reflection of 2018, can you guys believe it's been this long and I still have my goals, but I'll be fast. This is an interesting one too, and it's that time does not wait for you. Again, something that I've always heard, but I have not taken into consideration, and that's because Dustin said something to me earlier this year, a couple months ago, that I was like, wow, that's a really good point. I have wanted to be like a professional YouTuber for years, and I kind of just always like half do it and don't super chase my dream, or I set myself up and I'm like, well, I can't really do it, and so I don't get anywhere with it. And Dustin said a couple months ago that if the plan is when I'm a mommy, I'm gonna stay home with the kids, which has always been our plan. And that's if we are financially able to do that, which I'm praying and hoping that we will be. If we are trying to have kids in about 5-ish years from us getting married, I don't have that much time left. I would obviously YouTube even after we had kids, but what he was saying was, find what you're passionate about and do it. Basically, I guess the easiest way to put this is, if you keep waiting, there's always gonna be something else that like piles up on you. As in, like, work gets busy, you have kids, you're in the middle of moving, or whatever, that you could use as an excuse to say like, well, I can't do whatever now because I have this going on. You're always gonna have that other thing going on. So it's super important for you right now just to go ahead and put in the effort and try your hardest, and you're gonna go to sleep every night feeling so much better knowing you tried your hardest today to make that dream a reality, and every morning it feels the same way, I promise. Okay, 2019 goals. I'm gonna go through them quickly because they don't require so much explanation. So point 1 and 2, goal 1 and 2 go together. 1 is make a very, very detailed list of every book I want to read pretty much ever in my life, and well, that's maybe a little extreme, but at least make a reading list for the year and make a reading list for my whole life, and then read half of my year reading list this year is goal number 2. I love to read, and I just, like, I accumulate books wherever I am, and then I start one and another, and then I just kind of like go around, and I never get around to finishing them. I've been a little bit of a slump with it lately, so I have vowed to jumpstart my reading and to get things done. So another goal is to live a healthy lifestyle. I phrase it that way on purpose. It's not to get fit, it's not to get healthy, it's not to start working out or whatever, because anytime I say those kind of things, that's literally what it is. Like, I'll start working out, but I won't do it all year. I'll get fitter, but I won't stay fit. I'll eat healthy, but I don't change what I eat. Like, those all for me are short-term things that kind of, I feel like, oh, I'll accomplish that quick and then I don't do it anymore. Living a healthy lifestyle, that incorporates several things for me, which is getting enough sleep, waking up early, going on walks and or runs, if I could ever run in my life, which I can't, but exercising, eating healthy, but also healthy lifestyle is like reading, taking a bath, mental health, the whole thing. So I'm just trying to come up with everything that I think makes a healthy lifestyle and start incorporating it into my life. These two kind of go together too. 1 is to read through the Bible this year, which that book I was just talking about, I don't think we read through the Bible, but she does daily Bible readings, I think. So that'll get me a little into it, but I want to read through the whole entire Bible separate from that time as well this year. And I've only read through the whole Bible one time my whole life, so I'm really excited to go through it again. My next goal is daily devotions, which is kind of the same thing, but also just Jesus time. If I'm being, again, transparent with you guys, I hardly ever remember to pray, like at night or in the morning or even throughout the day. We pretty much remember at mealtime. Dustin always prays over me before we go to sleep, but I'm talking like my own personal, like, let me sit in the office by myself in the morning and pray. I hardly ever remember to do that or make time for it. And so this following year, that's something that's going to be detrimental to, I feel like, my lifestyle, my healthy lifestyle, is taking the time to incorporate Jesus into my life even more. YouTube full time. So I am trying to work my booty off to make this happen. I guess I mean by like YouTube full time, really do the full time work for it, even if that doesn't mean like by the end of this year I'm a gazillionaire. It just means putting in the effort to learn how to do this full time and setting up myself so that I can do it full time. I don't know. Does that make sense? Another goal is to work on my wifey, and I wrote that and laughed, but basically what I mean is like my book, the Proverbs 31 wife, and just try to be more gentle. I'm kind of a harsh person, and that's been not so good of a pill to swallow for me because I'm nice, I think, but I think with the people that I really, really love and care about, which why do it that way, I'm a little bit mean sometimes, and I can come off kind of like brash is the word, instead of either just asking for help or saying like I'm overwhelmed right now or I'm annoyed or, you know, whatever. I kind of expect other people to figure out my emotions. So I think every little area, whether that's the book, my emotions, cooking, I'm just gonna try to really transform my wifehood this year. I feel like this is a weird one too, but come up with a routine. And the reason I feel like that's weird is because it's kind of broad, but I mean, if I can get into waking up at a specific time every morning, doing a specific thing every morning, like my Jesus time, devotion, my book or whatever it is that I'm doing so that I can get more things done, because as it is now, I feel like I'm always on this like hamster wheel of trying to get things done to feel like I'm productive or whatever, when I in actuality am working all day every day at something, and I just don't see the fruits of my labor because I'm working all the time. So I think if I can come up with a work routine, a cleaning routine, or whatever kind of routine so that I can sit back and then enjoy it, I think that'll be really helpful for me. My last 2 goals, okay, well, this first one is go greener. And I have been looking at metal straws, eliminating some plasticware that I'm really bad about using and buying. But I also want more tips on what you guys think is important to go green. My last goal is to sit up straighter. I'm getting hunched back and my back hurts all the time now. So I'm constantly like trying to suck it in and sit up straight. It's also good for your abs. Alright guys, my camera's dying, so I'm gonna get going, but I hope that you like this video. I wanna know what your resolutions, goals, and reflections are in the comments below. Take care of yourself, take a break if you need to, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.